Time for another breakout video. Today we're doing Puka Nacua's breakout game, which obviously also happened to be his debut game in week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. Cooper Kupp was out for the first few weeks, and this guy, Puka Nacua, came out of nowhere, emerged as one of the top talents at wide receiver this past season, and I want to look at where it all began. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. If you haven't seen one of these breakout videos before, we did Devon Achane last week, the Miami Dolphins running back, his breakout game against the Denver Broncos. We're looking at the tape and studying the player individually to see what that debut game or what that breakout game was like. So today, Puka Nacua, I thought I'd do this one because the Rams fans were really receptive of my Rams underdog video that is also on the channel. I think they're one of the most underrated teams in the NFL going into the 2024 season. They were incredibly impressive down the stretch. They took it to the Detroit Lions, very nearly took them down and fell just short. So I really think the Rams could be something this year, but let's go back today, look at Puka Nacua's breakout game and see what we can find. Now, obviously, Puka went crazy in those early weeks of the 2023 season. In the first 2 weeks, had 25 receptions. He was breaking records. But this game against Seattle, he had 119 yards, 11.9 yards per reception, but it wasn't the game that I expected it to be. He didn't have I was expecting to go and watch this film and be like, he is ruining this defense. But the Rams actually struggled quite a lot in the first half of this game, and Puka himself, like him and Matt Stafford, they had their moments in trying to build that connection, and I'll show you that in today's video. But maybe after this, we do another video where we go and watch the game against San Francisco and see what that performance was like, because again, there's so much that you can take away from this, and it'd be interesting to compare those two games to maybe how he performed against New Orleans in week 16, which is a film study that is also going to be on the channel, or the New York Giants in week 17. So lots to talk about, and there's so much of this sort of stuff that we can do, and I am thoroughly enjoying putting these videos together, and I hope you guys are enjoying them as well. But Puka was very interesting. Obviously a 5th round pick, came out of BYU. He had transferred away from, was he at Northwestern? I can't remember. No, it was Washington, right? Where was he at? Because he just didn't get the looks that he was supposed to get. Yeah, Washington. So he was at Washington, never had more than 200 receiving yards in a season or 2 touchdowns. Then he went back to BYU in his home state, closer to home. Played well there, had a couple of really strong performances there, a couple of clutch moments, but again, never really got the looks that you would expect from a player who's going to emerge in the NFL. Doesn't necessarily have the incredible speed of some of the other guys, but he's just an excellent receiver. So I won't talk anymore. Let's get into the tape. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you what I mean about miscommunication. Now, obviously, this is Stafford and Nacua's first game playing together in a professional setting. It is going to take time for that to come to life. And on this one, again, we see this multiple times throughout this game, and you will see it in this video, but just not quite on the same page. Puka maybe overruns this ever so slightly. He actually saves it from being a potential pick 6 with both of these guys loitering around him defensively. Seattle played well defensively in the first half of this game. Then in the second half, Puka Atwell came to life. Matt Stafford was absolutely slinging it, and they beat the Seahawks easily. But something switched at halftime in this game. And I remember obviously in week 1 that they just pulled away. The Rams just pulled away. But I saw quite a bit of this in this game. He's obviously filling in for a role for Cooper Kupp, and there was just some of those kind of rookie jitters in this game. Now, in the games that I've studied so far, I've seen Puka do a lot of this, just sitting down in the soft spot, zone coverage here. Well, it kind of looks like we have man coverage underneath, but maybe not. But the route underneath from the tight end takes the linebacker out of that space, and then Matt Stafford's just waiting for that to clear, throws the football in there. A nice collection from Puka for his first reception of the game. Picks up a few yards, keeps the chains moving, all those good things, but just getting into rhythm. That's kind of what it felt like. They were just trying to get him into rhythm, and there's a period during this game where he had a couple of nasty plays back to back where, he had a drop and those things. And I liked that they kept going to him almost immediately afterwards. There was one play in between, then they went right back to him. So this should be a good video. I found this really interesting. Now, this is a route that I like. He's in the slot on this particular play. Kind of looks like, again, we're in zone coverage. We have 2 deep safeties, but they're not going to be a factor on this particular play. But Puka's going to run this kind of curl inside or a hook route, whatever you would call it, and then start to fade towards the sideline. And this is a really nice throw from Matt Stafford to get out there. And then this, for me, is one of the things that Puka is great at, which is just, fighting through contact, not giving up on a route or on a catch after he's, collected the football, and continuing to fight for additional yardage. And this is a very common theme when you watch his film, is like, all right, well, he's made the catch, he turns upfield, could easily go down here, but like instead just kind of puts his body into it, fights for more yardage, and very nearly scores his first touchdown. Now, again, just helping Puka settle into the game. This is actually a 3rd and long. They got pushed back here on 2 offensive penalties. So this is just kind of like, let's pick up a few extra yards for the punter sort of situation. So, very soft coverage. Puka's got time to make this reception, but, collects the football and then runs into Kobe Bryant. And then it still feels weird saying that as a guy's name in the NFL, but it is. Anyway, gets them up to like the 23, 24 yard line so that they can then, and they punted the play after this. But still, the connection is starting to build, which is great. It was very clear that in this game, Matt Stafford and Puka were working on that, actively during the game. This is a nice in-breaking route. So you have Puka at the top of your screen here, fighting through contact for one, so gets off of his man, then gets the inside shoulder on this coverage here, and just kind of like, this is the soft spot. And again, Matt Stafford was working that soft spot in this game. This is a very easy throw for a veteran like Matt Stafford. So collects the football in the middle from Puka, and then again, rather than just go down, like gets like 2 extra yards. Like, it doesn't seem like much, but this is the Puka that we got to know and love watching this season, because he's collected that football. He knows that like Bobby Wagner's coming flying in alongside him, but just like fights for, let's try and get a yard or 2 out of it. You'll see it again here from the reverse angle or from the front side angle with Puka Nacua coming in from your right-hand side. You'll see him come into the middle of your screen, just sit down in the soft spot, collect the football, and then, look, he's on his knees. He knows that there are guys coming around him, but he tries to hop back up and wants additional yardage. And we have some more of those kind of rookie connection situations here. Look, again here, this could be a huge gain. This could be a massive gain. And I don't know, it depends on how they coach this with the Rams. Like, maybe this is that Matt Stafford would have Cooper Kupp play this ever so slightly differently. But Puka kind of keeps his momentum going towards the middle of the field. Stafford might say, like, once you get into that soft spot, maybe, pull throttle a little, sit it down and all those things, but it looks like either Puka overruns it or Matt Stafford throws it in behind him. You get a much better view of it here, but once they figured this kind of thing out, like because Puka is wide open here, and maybe the throw just comes out. It's really weird. The throw almost looks like it bends, because it looks like it's going straight into his hands and then kind of bends out. So maybe it was a really windy day in Seattle, but look at that. That looks like and then Puka just sort of overruns it. But anyway, it's a bit of a weird look from this angle, but one way or another, the two of them, again, build that connection kind of, but when you look at it from this front angle, if Puka catches this in stride, like, there's a good chance this corner's not going to be in that play, and then he kind of just needs to beat the safety, and like, who knows how much of a gain this could have been. So this was kind of a missed opportunity, this one. But again, for Puka to be able to find that much space over the middle of the field, and like, I would love to be able to analyze kind of, what he's doing and the route and beating man coverage, but they didn't see a lot of man coverage in this game. It was a lot of kind of soft zone. Like, you can see this probably looks like cover 3, where you've got, like, once Puka breaks inside, this corner feels like he can drift with that. 2 linebackers, 1 deep safety. It's probably a cover 3, but in this particular game, Puka didn't see much man coverage. Now, again, the struggle, like, this wasn't, I was honestly expecting, and this isn't a knock on Puka at all. It's his first game in the NFL. He's a 5th round pick. He hasn't necessarily had the experience that he maybe could or should have had in college. It wasn't perfect. I really expected to watch this game and be like, this guy dominated out of the gate, but that's what makes this so interesting, because it wasn't that. So this is like, it's a shallow post or a slant route. Puka's going to run 6-7 yards from the outside spot here as the outside receiver. So the tight end's going to run a shallow out route, and then Puka's going to run over the top of that and run into the kind of the middle of the field. So Matt Stafford, this is open. It's as open as you're going to get in the NFL. Throws it in there. This is a great throw, and Puka just drops it in the contact. So Bobby Wagner's coming in there. He knows he's going to take a hit. He's got the safety breaking on it as well. The safety actually gets a really good break on this route. and he gets hit and he drops the football. Now, I actually initially thought that he caught this ball, but he didn't, and I did see a couple of times, in fact, on more than 2-3 occasions in this game, that Puka kind of he gets up a little slow, almost as if to say, the guys in this league hit really hard. This is Bobby Wagner, kneeling over him, right? Bobby Wagner's one of the hardest hitting linebackers in NFL history, right? He's up there. He's among the best. And Puka it just looked like he had a little bit of that kind of all right, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to feel these tomorrow. Now, this is what I liked, and this is what I was talking about going back to him. So he just had the drop over the middle of the field where Stafford maybe put it a little behind him. The very next play was the drop on the slant route with Bobby Wagner coming in and laying a hit. So, all right, maybe the rookie's struggling a little at this point in the game. So they made one throw to Tutu Atwell, and then on the very next play, went straight back to Puka Nacua, almost drew this play up for him. You get the tight end sit down here, which brings the linebacker out of the space. You get the wide receiver on the other side run an out route, which pulls the linebacker over with him. And that leaves this kind of soft spot here. It's a great throw from Matt Stafford. And Puka Nacua makes the catch this time. So this was kind of a bit of a turning point for him in the game, where it's all right, no, I can do this at this level. And again, fighting for yardage, because as a wide receiver at this level, he could go down here at the 45. Where he is right now, could just kind of give up. He's not all that worried about protecting his body, clearly. Could have gone down at the 45, but he actually ends up at the 40, which is one of the cool things about him. He's got this, no, I think I'll take 5 more yards, actually, which can make a huge difference in an NFL game. And I think that's something that should really be respected about him. He's got this, I don't know, he just seems to have the passion and the energy to want to go after those additional yards all the time. This is a great catch, hands catch, great throw from Matt Stafford right in front of the face mask. And then you've got a guy on his back. And again, he's taken hits from Bobby Wagner and co. throughout this game and seems to be handling it. Just thought this was funny. Look at, so it's Puka's doing a good job blocking here. So this is Puka here against, again, Kobe Bryant. Gets a good block off. The play doesn't really end up going anywhere, but holds his ground. He's doing a good job holding his ground. And then there's a little hands fighting and just an extra couple of punches from Kobe Bryant on this. Look, the last one was unnecessary, Kobe. All right. Now, having watched this game and a couple of other games from them this season, that guy plays this game with anger. Kobe Bryant plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's an angry man on a football field, right? But Puka just, they're jaunting a little, and Kobe just throws in one extra one just at the end there, which, I don't know. I don't know if these guys know each other from college or anything like that, but Kobe Bryant was obviously a Cincinnati Bearcat, played alongside Sauce Gardner. So anyway, it's not really relevant to the video. I just thought I'd throw it in. But you do wonder if maybe those things are just all right, let me, maybe I have a point to prove. There are certain things in games that will wake an athlete up. And then this was one, maybe 2 plays later with Puka on the top side. Really not. This was against man coverage, so doesn't see that very often, but runs a slant route against his guy. I believe this is on Tariq Woolen as well. Yeah, that is Tariq Woolen. So nice play from Puka, and look at the celebration. It's not like a first down. It's like a, it's just, it looked like he needed that one, or that he kind of, at this point, maybe the lion in him was woken up a little. But this, to beat Tariq Woolen, who is a long corner with long arms, can play really well in press coverage. Great throw from Matt Stafford. Throws it low as well, which I don't know if that was intentional on this particular play, but obviously makes it very difficult for the corner to make a play on it. And Puka just catches it, gets the first down, get what they need, and he's kind of yeah, first down, don't punch me in the face after a play. So I don't know. We're making up storylines at this point, but I just liked there was energy in that first down celebration. Same thing again with the soft spot underneath. This is Puka Nacua coming over from the far side. He did a lot of his work in this kind of area in this game. That was where the majority was against the type of defensive coverage that they saw. Again, this looks very much like zone coverage because this corner is just letting him come across. And then by the time Bobby Wagner realizes that this is where the football's going, it's easy yardage. And then again, Puka fighting through contact, another 2 or 3 yards, falling forwards all the time. So again, another nice play from him against what is a good linebacker core, like Bobby Wagner, Jordan Brooks, now in Miami. Nice throw underneath, and it just gives Matt Stafford an easy outlet. And I liked that Stafford turned him back inside. I think as the defense shaped up on this particular play, Stafford almost held him up there so that Puka can then turn upfield. Whereas if he continues to lead him out here, he's going to get blown up by Bobby Wagner, right? So rather than lead him out here where he's going to lead into trouble, throw the football into the soft spot, let him turn upfield and fight for additional yardage. Now, here's one of those welcome to the NFL rookie moments, and it's not even intentional. So Puka's going to pull across the field this is a run play. So he's the wide receiver on the near side, but you're going to get a misdirection with a wide receiver coming across, and then Puka's going to go back the other way. Now, as one of these pass rushers breaks through the line, he decleats Puka Nacua completely. Almost by accident. Puka just happens to be in the way, but it's one of those, watch how he gets knocked flat on his back. Look, decleated, feet off the ground. And again, it's one of those like, man, the NFL is a different league. Like this, we're in new territory here. I'm not sure. Is it Boya Mafe? It might be, but look, he doesn't even get hands on the guy. And you can see as he goes down, he's kind of trying to throw his hands. He does a bit of to sort of see if he can grab onto the guy and pull him down with him, but just gets knocked clean off his feet. And it's not his fault. It's just, I thought it was funny. Like it's one of these, like every guy has a moment where he's like, oh, the NFL's, and I really grew a respect for Puka watching this game because he didn't have it easy. He struggled in this game. He had a couple of drops in this game. He was getting hit by Bobby Wagner a lot in this game. And ultimately came up with a couple of really big catches towards the end that put the Seahawks away. All right, really nice play design here against man coverage. So with the motion, 22 is likely handing Tutu Atwell off to another defender. But when they run this, Atwell is still the outside receiver. They've made it look like he's going to motion inside. And then you can see the way they communicate, like 22 at this point is not sure what to do. Which man is still his, but because Atwell runs inside of Puka Nacua, he's like, all right, that's my man, so I'm going to go with Tutu Atwell. But that leaves the tight end wide open. So Matt Stafford could easily take this, but in doing so and creating that confusion, 22 runs directly into his defender, which leaves Tutu Atwell over the top. So really nice play design, breaking it down to kind of get Tutu Atwell open, who also had a monster second half in this game. They went to him a couple of times, and I'm going to include one of those plays as well because it's just a beautiful throw from Matt Stafford. But Nacua is the middle of the bunch trio here against press coverage. Now, he runs kind of a hard stop, which helps to open this up. He's got his man breaking down here. The tight end's got his man breaking down here, and then Tutu Atwell is wide open over the top, and a beautiful throw from Stafford. Same thing again here, getting open underneath, creating the space, soft coverage. So he comes underneath, and Stafford just at this point was very comfortable going to him. So we've brushed off a lot of the dust. We've got comfortable in the NFL, and we're continuing to take hits from Bobby Wagner over the middle, which I'm sure he's very grateful for Puka, to be kind of like in that situation in his very first game. But we know that Bobby's not quite at the level he used to be at, but I'm sure he still packs a punch. But again, fighting for additional yardage, falling forwards, all the things that we saw in this game multiple times. Same thing again, Puka running into Bobby Wagner. Now, this one was just Matt Stafford trying to get rid of the football. The play didn't really work. It's kind of a bootleg and he's got a defender on him. So something went wrong. The play broke down and he just kind of tosses this to Puka Nacua underneath. So, which is fine, and but it's just, this is what I was saying about him getting up a little slow a couple of times, sort of like, so again, takes a hit here, Bobby Wagner and Kobe Bryant. And then there's just like a moment where you can see him kind of like head down where he's almost like, oh, like, all right, we'll take another one. Let's get up. So I think it would, he obviously took some kind of knock on this one that he felt because it took him a little longer to get up. So he turns upfield, took him a moment to collect the football and then just takes one either in the shoulder or something. But you can see that he's just a little slow getting off the ground. And I think, I feel for these guys. Like, I know I wouldn't survive this. So I respect that they, it takes a while to adjust. Now, this is bonus content, if you want, because it's not Puka Nacua. He's not involved in this play really at all, but it's an amazing anticipation throw from Matt Stafford, in my opinion, and I love the connection with Tutu Atwell on this particular play. So, if you like your bonus content, maybe subscribe to the channel. Like, I'd really appreciate it, and I'm throwing this stuff in just as extra. These are the extra bits. Like, have some more. So Tutu Atwell is going to motion from the right-hand side to the left, then he's going to run up the field and then into the middle. Now, at the point this football is out of Matt Stafford's hands, and he's throwing it into this gap here. Puka Nacua's over the far side. Tutu Atwell has motioned across, run, 15, 16 yards, and then an in-breaking route into that soft spot. Now, Matt Stafford's already throwing that football in there. And I just love to see this because at this point, you don't think that Tutu Atwell is going to be the guy getting this football, but look at this. Just a beautiful throw. That is a really, really clean throw. Just love the connection. I loved this play. And sometimes I just want these plays to be in the video. So while it's a video about Puka Nacua's rookie breakout game, Tutu Atwell had a great game here too. And just like when you look at it from this angle, like the fact that just how it all comes together, look at that throw. That's a beautiful throw. There's not really anywhere else that he can put that. If it's anywhere nearer the middle of the field, it gets picked off. If it's short, it gets picked off. If it's too high, Tutu Atwell gets lit up. This is a perfect throw. And then great catch from Tutu Atwell. And they did that twice on this particular drive, almost on back-to-back plays. Now, this was another really nice play out of the same look that we saw earlier for the deep reception to Tutu Atwell. So where he motions inside and then they snap the football just as he cuts inside of Puka Nacua. So it's the exact same look off the line of scrimmage. Only this time, Tutu Atwell is going to run across the middle of the field and Puka Nacua is going to run kind of an in-breaking route into the end zone. So it's a nice throw from Matt Stafford to fit this in here. This is just a really nice play from Reek Woolen, right? So he undercuts it, gets a hand on it, knocks it out. That's a great pass breakup from a defensive back in the NFL. And just having the awareness to know that he can safely undercut that and that he's got another guy coming across the field who will help out. And for Stafford to fit this in here, if he's going to throw it over a 6'3", what is Reek Woolen, 6'3", 6'4", if he's going to throw it over him and his wingspan, it's going to have to be right in the back of the end zone. It's going to be a very difficult throw to make, but undercutting it, getting that incompletion, getting that pass breakup, it's a really nice play defensively. And there's not really much more that Puka Nacua can do here to try and make anything happen. You know, maybe he doesn't kind of break his route off just enough, but Reek Woolen ends up running it for him. That could have been an interception, but gets the pass breakup. All right, now this was Puka's biggest catch of the game. I've shown you up until this point that a lot of the work that he did in this game was actually in kind of the soft spots underneath, Matt Stafford finding him shallow of the linebackers and letting him turn upfield and try and get additional yardage. This was his biggest play, and it actually came against man coverage. So he is on number 30 on the far side. You will see Tutu Atwell's motion takes 23 across, brings Reek Woolen down, so we have kind of isolated man coverage here now on the back side. Tutu's going to run off the defender, so he's going to take 23 deep down the field. Tyler Higbee's going to keep Kobe Bryant shallow here, which means that the spot that Matt Stafford's looking to throw this into, he kind of has an option to either try and hit Tutu Atwell deep down the sideline, or he's going to find Puka Nacua coming out with the outbreaking route. So nice throw. Again, Matt Stafford was on his game in this game. Really, really played well. Threw this out to the boundary, and Puka Nacua brings it down. And this was like the late hands thing that everyone was talking about with Puka Nacua, that he just doesn't make it easy for defenders to see what's happening. Because, you know, as a defensive back in the NFL, when a wide receiver gets his hands up, you know what's going on. You know the football's coming, right? But Puka Nacua has this late hands thing where he just pops his hands up, makes the reception, gets the feet down, sideline's happy for him. There's a lot of good energy around that with the play that he just made. But again, really tidy throw from Matt Stafford and a great catch from Puka Nacua. And maybe this was the moment where it was like, you know, he's had a lot of receptions. He got a lot of kind of shallow to intermediate receptions in this game. But this was the one where Matt Stafford throws it out there under pressure as well. And Puka Nacua brings it down and hits the sideline. That body control, getting the feet down, winning against man coverage. Look at the hands, catches it at the high point, gets both feet down. Really, really tidy play. Now, this is the last play of the video, and I really wish he'd caught this. This would have been such a great way to round out the game, for Puka Nacua and also my video, but unfortunately, they were inches away from completing this for what likely would have been a touchdown. And that would have sent, I mean, Puka Nacua was, you know, the guy that everyone wanted in fantasy football after week one anyway. If he'd caught this, the price would have been astronomical, but he's just going to run. He's going to run to the outside on his defender, again, playing on Tariq Woolen. Matt Stafford's just going to throw this out there down the sideline. He likes what he sees against the coverage. The safety doesn't get over to it. Look at this. It's fingertips. It's fingertips. And I think, yeah, probably, I mean, by the time he came down with it, he's probably a yard short of a touchdown. But nice throw from Stafford again in the only spot where he can throw that football. Only Puka Nacua can make a play on it, and look how close he is. I love the commitment to laying out for it. This is actually really hard to do, to throw your body into a reception like that and try and come down with it. Like, just the motion to be able to do that is really difficult, but he launches himself into it, and just like, I don't think Reek Woolen is a factor in this. Like, he's beaten. Puka Nacua gets to it first, and then and again, look, you've got, there's just the sort of thing with him where it's like I've said a couple of times in this video, that sort of like, oh, I just smashed my face on the ground. Like, all right, this is the NFL. Let's kind of hop up. And you can see him kind of jump up and just like gingerly run off. I really wish he'd caught this. This would have been such a cool way to round out his breakout game in the NFL. I do want to watch the 49ers game, so if you'd like to see that in a video, I will gladly put that one together. I really liked the energy and the conversation I was having with the Rams fans in that previous video that I did. So let me know what you guys think of this. I wanted to put a game tape video together for you. I have a couple of others that I'm working on as well, so there'll be some more of this stuff coming, but I feel for him on this one. I really wish he'd caught it. I think it would have been awesome to bring that down. But look at him sort of like, oh, these NFL fields are a little tough. But anyway, good game for the Rams. They obviously took down the Seattle Seahawks in week 1, had a great back half to the 2023 season. So I'm very interested to see what they look like in 2024, how Puka Nacua will progress from that rookie year. It's all going to be very interesting. And I think they are still one of the most slept on teams in the entire NFL. Like how they have similar odds for the Super Bowl to the Chicago Bears, who have a completely new look roster and a rookie quarterback. I get it. It's Caleb Williams, but like, we don't know what that's going to look like yet. So are we overshooting that? I think we're sleeping on the Rams. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. And let me know if there are other games, either from Rams players, like maybe it's Kyron Williams, or maybe it's Tutu Atwell, maybe it's Cooper Kupp, even Matt Stafford. Anyone you want to see, if you want to see more of these X's and O's type videos, drop a sub, leave me a like on the video. The likes and everything lets me know how this content's doing and how much you guys are enjoying it, so that I can then continue to tailor the channel into things that you enjoy. So please do leave me some feedback. Let me know. Sub to the channel. I'd love to have you stick around, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great day.